Students. So in this video we are going to discuss about how to develop Windows or desktop based application using Java components. So in last video we have discussed about two mini projects to develop, mini project 1 and mini project 2. Mini project 1, which talks about the implementation of Windows application and testing that application using manual testing approach. So in this video we are going to discuss about how to develop Windows application and how that particular application is tested using JUnit, and then how manual testing approach is used to test this application. So here we are using the AWT and Swing component to create Java based, GUI based Windows or desktop application. So let us start with the demonstration. So here I have the Eclipse environment. Similarly, we can use NetBeans also. So in this environment, I'm using Java 2 Standard Edition. So as you know, we have J2SE and J2EE. So here we are using J2SE, that is Java 2 Standard Edition. So what I have done is I have created the simple Java project. So you can create the simple Java project using a new Java project, and then create the by giving the name of the Java project you can create the Java project. But this will create only the console based programming Java project. This will not give you the UI interface which will be which are using different components like text box, labels, button, checkboxes, and so on. So if you want that component, that project, then what we have to do, we have to add the within the existing mini project, we have to add the Windows Builder plugin. So how to add this Windows Builder plugin? So in your Eclipse, you have to go to help section, and within the help section we have to go to install software. So if you install software, go to install software, then you have to search for the update called as Windows Builder. So I have here download.eclipse.org/Windows Builder/latest version. So if you select that, then it will come Windows Builder XWT support. So you have to select both, and then you have to click the finish. So I already have installed this Windows Builder component. This Windows Builder component is used for UI interfaces used into the Java programming. So if you want a drag and drop functionality for labels, buttons, checkboxes within the Java, then you have to add this Windows Builder. Otherwise what will happen? To create a simple button, what you have to do, you have to write this code. JButton b login is equals to new JButton and name of the button, and then you have to give the dimensions for that button. What is the size, what is the location, and everything. So this we can avoid by using the drag and drop mechanism of the Windows Builder. So once this Windows Builder is installed, then you can go to the project, then you can select other, and then you search for Windows Builder. So file, new, other, then you can search for Windows Builder. So this is Windows Builder. So here we have SWT designer and Swing designer. So we want Swing designer. So you can take application window and create next and finish. Once it is create next and finish, I'll create this. Suppose name of package is ASD, and suppose name of the application is A. or ABC, then finish. So it will create the file abc.java. So in earlier, in a simple Java project, it will create only the source code file, but here if you see, it will create source file and also it will create the design. So if you see this two option, one is the source option and second is the design option. So if you click on the design option, it will open the layout of the application. So this is layout. So here we can have the creation of different components. So if you see this palette includes all the components, right? Suppose this is my window, and for window, if I take the layout first, the name of the layout is absolute layout. So if I drag the absolute layout, and after the absolute layout, if I drag some component, let's say if I drag the label, and if I rename that label to username, then if I take one more label, another label is suppose name of the label is password. So I have taken the two labels, one is username and second is password. So I don't have to write this code manually. I can just use a drag and drop mechanism and the code will be created at the background. The dimension of the label, the fields that you use, the text that is used on the label, everything is created at the background. If I double click on this file, the automatically code will be generated. Then second I'm taking the text box. So I'll be taking two text boxes, one is for username and second is for password. So after that, I'm taking the button called as J button. So button is a dynamic. It performs the action listener event. So if I want to validate this username and password, then I can validate using the click action on the button. So suppose my button name is login. So if I want to validate this username and password, I can validate using the login button. So this will check these two fields, what is the username and what is the password. If it is matched with my source code or database, then it is validated, otherwise it is not validated. So this business logic we have to write. Everything is designed using this palette option. So where the programmer has to focus, on the business logic part. So what we are going to do, we are going to write something here. So if I double click on the button, so it will enter into the code. If you see, all the code is created. This code is created like what label you have created. You have created the username, you have created the password label, then dimension of the text fields, set bound properties used. So it is x1, y1, x2, y2, all the dimensions of the text field, similarly dimensions of the labels, similarly dimensions of the buttons, right? And then we have button, name of the button. So everything is created. And what this J button? So J stand for, it's a swing component. So it all starts with J. J label, J button, J text field, J panel, J frame. Everything starts with J because it's a Java X component, swing components. So if you don't have J, we have button. B1 is equals to new button, that is AWT component, right? So once we have this button, we need to understand we are clicking on the button to perform some action. So that clicking on the button is called as action listener. So what we have to do is we have to listen the action that is performed on that particular button. So this action listener is used with the method called as action perform, and there is a action event for that particular action perform. So this action event, action perform, is the method, and that method listener has a method called as action perform, and this action perform method execute the action which is after clicking on the button. Suppose if I want to display some message, so I'm not going to validate the text field here. So for your understanding, what I'll do is I'll display some message after clicking on the button, right? And further I have a code that I will be explaining with you with the login and registration process. So for example, if I take JOption pen dot show message dialog, so this JOption pen show message dialog will open the dialog window and display some message. So I'll write parent component as a null and message to display. So what I want to display is some message. You clicked on button. So the message is you clicked on button after clicking on the button. And how you are understanding that you are clicking on the button? So here J button, object of the button, new J button, and name of the button. So button new button is an object created for that button, and on that button new button dot add action listener is added. So this add action listener will listen the action perform on the button, and using action perform method it will execute that action. So that is the execution of this particular button. Now you just right click on this, click on run as Java application. So it will open the small window. So I have not written the username and password validation. I have written only one message. After login button, you display the you clicked on button message. So series. After login, you got the message. So this message window is JOption pen and show message dialog. So it's show message dialog, and if you click on OK, message will disappear. So this we have for the login action. So what is expected is like this. You can create different graphical windows like login form, registration form, some user registrations, and different forms. And these different forms you can add, combine together, and you can perform the small mini projects. So this is the expectation from this particular Windows based application. So you can create standalone application or you can create with the database, no issue. So similarly I have one more example. So this example talks about you have login home. So what I have done is I have similar with the previous program, I have created the two text fields, and these two text fields I am reading using the action listener, and then this action listener will perform validate username and password, and if username and password is as per the string given, then it says OK, it display the another window, open the another window, else it will show the wrong password message. So this code is initially I have created one button, then I have created the panel, then there are two text fields, one is the username and password, and there is method called as super. Super is used to give the name of the form, login authentication, then size is set. So all this code is created automatically using the application window. So this way have panel.add, panel.add, panel.add. So what I have done is I have created panel, and on that panel I am adding the button, label, text boxes, and different controls. And this is the business logic. So what I have done is I have written action login method, B login is my button, add action listener is the method, and within that action perform method I am reading username and the password. So both the username and password I am storing the string called as p username and p password. And what is my condition? Condition is if p username dot equals srk and p password dot equals 123. Enters the username srk and password 123. If both get matched, then it opens the new window. So new window is opens with new frame. Reg face is equals to new frame and reg face dot set visible true. So what we have done is we have created the new frame and we are setting the visible true only when that username and password match. And then we are disposing that particular frame. Disposing means once we are closing it, it will disappear, right? Otherwise what will happen? Otherwise if both are not matched, then it will display the wrong password or username. And what it is doing, it is setting all the username text fields are null. So this is basic login example that we have. So I'll just quickly run this. So run as. So here I have not added the label, so I can put something wrong. So it says wrong username and password, which is else condition. Then if I write correct username and password, then what will happen? See here. So it displays the welcome message. So this is the new frame, visible true, right? And using the dispose method, the earlier frame got disappear, right? So this dispose method is used into the application window so that if you are opening the new window, previous window will get hide. Otherwise what will happen? If you don't use the dispose method, then two frames will be open and that is not logically correct. So this welcome message is displayed and this welcome message is displayed when you have clicked on the correct username and password, right? So this code is for the login button. Similarly, I have created the registration form. So this registration form is having different fields like name, passwords, then we have country, state, phone number and so on, right? So this forms, again, it has labels, it has text fields. All the labels and text field has dimensions created, right? And everything is added on the panel. It is added on the panel, right? Layout is set. Then action perform method is used. This action perform method is checked with the button. So what button you are clicking, it is storing all the values into the string because we are using the database for it. So it says like whatever values s1 to s9 you are using, this is available into the string form. And then we are using class.forName method. So as you know, we are using MySQL component, so use mysql.cj.jdbc.driver, this component. Then we are using connection con is equals to driver manager.get connection. Inside that we are using jdbc colon mysql colon / localhost 3306. So localhost is a MySQL server, 3306 is the port number, db is the name of the database, and root. So first root is the username, second root is the password of MySQL. Then you are using prepared statement. This prepared statement is used for the DML queries. So here we have a DML query called as insert, right? So we are using insert query. So we have prepared statement ps is equals to con dot prepared statement. You can also use the execute query. So if you use the prepared statement, then we can set the sequences of the strings to pass into the queries. So we can use prepared statement effectively if we have a multiple values to be passed into the queries. So here we have passed the query insert into name of the table is reg values and all question marks. So these question marks are what? these question marks are the string or values that we have set for the insert query. So first question mark, understand that whatever value passed into the text boxes, the same value stored into string form, and then that value is passed in a sequence with respect to that question mark. So here it is used. So ps.set string 1 comma s1, that means user has entered something into first text field and that is stored into s1 string, and this x1 string is passed into the first column of the database by using the first sequence. Similarly, sequence second, third and up to 7th, it will match with the all the columns of the database. And then after that it writes int rs is equals to ps.execute update, that it will check like the query is executed or not. If execute update is updated by 1, that means query is executed, so otherwise it is not executed. So we can do rs plus plus. So here we have not used actually that rs field, so we can check with that thing. So here we have, like for example, here we have used execute update and we are incrementing the count. So if this count is greater than 0, that means query is executed at least once, then display the message data saved successfully, else error, right? So we are checking password or confirm password is same or not. So all the fields we are checking, right? So this is the code that we have for the registration. So I will simply run this form. So registration form, all the fields. So if I write, see, create password and confirm password. If I don't write both the same, then it shows password does not match. And if I write everything is correctly, then it shows data saved successfully. So at the back end, I have MySQL. So password is root. Then I use database called as DB. So use DB. Then select star from Ariji. Ariji is the name of the database. So I have latest value inserted into this. So if I write, let's say all B, then submit, data saved successfully. And if again I checked with the database, select star from, then it will update all P's. So this says database saved successfully into the database. So like this we have created login. So login I have saved into the program, username and password. You can save with the database in same way. So login, registration, and like this different forms you can create, and you can build your own Windows or desktop based application using the AWT and Swing components. If you are familiar with the Android components, you can go with the same approach and develop the Android application, Windows or desktop based Android application, and use that particular application for the testing. So this video basically focused on the demonstration for the development of Windows based application using the Java components, AWT and the Swing components. So what student have to do is, student have to use the same approach to develop the application. So if you have a group of 4, at least each one of you has to create the 1 or 2 forms and 1 or 2 this AWT or Swing Forms with or without database, and you have to perform some action on it. So such a development, and then you have to interlink this form with each other, and you have to frame a one system, one small mini project system, right? And the same system we have to test using the different test cases. So in further video, in next video, I'll be highlighting on how to prepare the test plan. We are going to discuss about the test plan, how to prepare the test plan. So we'll be discussing using the case study, and that case study tells you the how to prepare the test plan, how to test the application using the manual testing, what are the different attributes that you are going to prepare using the test plan. So in detail we'll be discussing about that particular test plan, and in last part we are going to discuss about the JUnit test cases. So two more part we have for this assignment, and altogether combining development of the application, test plan which is required for the testing that application, and the JUnit test cases. Everything you have to combine as a single mini project, and that is your mini project 1 development, right? So next two more videos to come for the completion of this mini project 1. One is for the test plan, second is for the JUnit test cases, and in the end we'll be discussing about the summary of all the components combined for the mini project development, right? So I hope you have understood this demonstration of Windows based application development, and you'll be using this for the developing your own application, and you will try for the development of the same, right? So we'll stop here for the demo, for this demonstration of Windows application, and we'll be discussing about the test plan in further videos. Thank you.